Have you ever heard of the Brown Street Condos? If you're a realtor in Lafayette, you have. If you're somebody who's thought about buying a house for a student at Purdue University, you've heard of them. They're what have become an absolutely terrible group of buildings over behind Levee Plaza, over where all of the new redevelopment is going on in the Levee area. And anytime somebody has come to me saying, "Hey, Geoff, I'd like to buy one that's for sale," I say, "Sure, we can go look at it, but here's what you need to know. Previous owners and management did not do a good job taking care of the place. There are 148 units. The current owners association, just settled a bill for city sewer service that dates back a few years of $284,000. Yeah, you heard me. But what's also interesting about this is that Orloff Property Management, and I knew they were on a buying spree. I didn't realize what a buying spree they were on, but they put this out there. They have purchased 110 of the 148 condos. So 120, 150, somewhere around 70%, 75% are owned by the management company. They are, and it's always been this way, that they're running them as rentals. So only 38 are owned by individuals, and by individuals, they can also be investors. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's their primary residence or even their secondary residence. But anyway, where we're going with this is that Orloff has said that they're doing some work, exterior work, and getting interiors taken care of as well as they're needed, doing some work on the roof, weatherproofing, taking care of siding, repaving parking lots. So hopefully this place, the Brown Street Condos, will look a lot better. But Chad Spitznagel, who is West Lafayette's housing director, said that the complex had a, quote, pretty big list, unquote, of problems in their last rental inspection just about a year ago, back in 2024. Quote, it's a wreck, unquote. And we thank Dave Bangerton, based in Lafayette, for that quote from Spitznagel. That's from Chad. That's a fantastic quote. I know that the city would like these to go away, shove them over with a bulldozer, and fold this area into the redevelopment that's happening down there. If I were a betting man, I would say that's going to happen. Somebody will come along to Orloff and make a deal. Or maybe Orloff will be the developer themselves and shove these guys over and build something. And I'm not saying it's happening tomorrow, but as the first phase of the development of the Levee Plaza redevelopment wraps up, as Rambler gets online and they start moving towards the river, and that's going to start being something that they look at. We're starting to look at Levee Plaza and what's going to go there. I think that's eventually going to get shoved over and something new will go there. And then we're at Brown Street. So I think that we're a handful of years away at most from something happening to those Brown Street condos. I think that's good news. I'm all for development down there on the riverfront. I would really like the riverfront in Lafayette and West Lafayette to continue to develop and to be a place that is easily accessible to everybody for a multitude of uses. I'd love to see a concert venue down there. Love the walking trails, but also like the idea of like a river walk, paved area, restaurants, all that development. We have lots of the areas of the Wabash and indeed the Tippecanoe and the Wildcat that are natural in that area. So I think the development is good, and I think that these Brown Street condos are like a domino to fall in that development process. And it's not decades off. This development has been happening for years, for 4 decades now, and it's in a decade or less, I would guesstimate.